So there are three kind of t-test. We can divide the t-test into three categories. Number one, the first kind of t-test is known as one sample t-test. One sample t-test. And the second test is known as independent sample t-test. Independent sample t-test. And the third is known as related sample t-test. Related sample t-test. And this related sample t-test is further divided into two parts. The first part is known as paired sample t-test. Paired sample t-test. And the second sample is known as repeated sample t-test. Repeated sample t-test. So we are going to cover all the four tests one by one. So now I am going to discuss the one sample t-test, and then we will go to independent and then related. So let's move to the one sample t-test, because I am going to discuss all type of tests in detail. So first case that we are going to discuss now is called one sample t-test. So what is one sample t-test? In one sample t-test, we are comparing the population mean, that is represented by mu, and the sample mean, which is represented by x bar. So the null hypothesis of one sample t-test is that the population mean is equal to the sample mean. So here we are going to discuss the null hypothesis that the population mean is equal to the sample mean. Okay, so how to do this, right? We are applying the t-test here, and the normally formula of this test is the like this. Here sigma is the standard deviation of the mean of the sample, and n minus 1 is the sample size of the sample, standard deviation of the sample. Mu is the population mean, and sigma is the sample mean. Now you may heard about different claims made by different companies. So I'm giving you one example. Like the Maruti car is giving you the claim that the Celerio car is giving you average mileage of 25 kilometers per liter. Similarly, there is a tire company Michelin. This company say that the average life of the tire is 1 lakh kilometer. Similarly, the Tata company say that, or let's say the company, some weight loss company say that if you join the company, we will reduce your weight by 5 kg. There are many colleges, they claim that the average package of MBA student is 10 lakhs. There are many engineering colleges, they are claiming that the average package of BTech students is 7 lakhs. So in all these claims, we are having the value of population mean. So right, if I am saying that, if my colleagues say that the average package of BTech students is 7 lakhs, so I am giving this claim for each student. So this is called the population mean. Like if the Maruti is saying that all Celerio cars are giving you the average of 25 km per liter, so it is for all the cars. Similarly, if Hero Honda say that the Splendor bike is giving you the mileage of 85 km per liter, so this mileage is applicable for all the bikes made by the company in the brand name of Splendor. So what we are doing, we are picking a sample from the population, and we are comparing that whether population mean is equal to whether the sample mean is equal to the population mean or not. So we are comparing whether the sample mean is equal to the population mean or not. And in all the t-test, the rule of thumb, right? So a rule of thumb is that if your t value is greater than 1.96 and probability value is less than 0.05, it means you can reject the null hypothesis. So null hypothesis will be rejected in this case. So anywhere if t value is more than 1.96 and probability value is less than 0.05, then hypothesis should be rejected. But the assumption should be fulfilled. It means your distribution of the variable should be normal, and the homogeneity of variance assumption should be fulfilled. In one sample t-test, the homogeneity of variance issue will not come. Only the normality of the variable should be there. So now I'm showing you the application of one sample t-test in SPSS, so that you should understand that how we can apply one sample t-test in the software. So let's move to the software part. So I'm going to open the SPSS software, and I will show you how we can apply one sample t-test in SPSS. So I shared my screen with you. Yesterday I forgot to share for some time, but today I will be very careful. Okay, so just I'm going to open the file. All the data set I already shared with you, so that is not a problem. You already have the data set with you, and so this is the t-test, and I'm going to open the one sample t-test. Okay, now in this case, yeah, we are having one of the company, weight loss company, say that any customer who joined our weight loss program, we will reduce his or her weight by 5 kg in 1 month. So this is the claim. This is the claim of the company. The name of the file is one sample t-test, and this in this file you can see that there is a variable called weight loss, and this is the data of 50 customers. This is the data of 50 customers, and we ask them that how much weight you lose after joining the company program, and we want to check whether the company is which is making the claim that on an average everybody will lose the weight of 5 kg is true or not, right? So in this case, in this example, we assume that the population mean is 5 kg. So the population mean is there in the statement. So we assume that the population mean is 5 kg, and we will calculate the sample mean, and our null hypothesis is that the sample mean is equal to population mean, which is 5 kg, and we compare the value of t and p to decide whether we should accept the hypothesis or reject the hypothesis. So let's move to the commands. I'm going to the analyze, and test of difference is available in compare means option, and in compare means option the first test is one sample t-test. One sample t-test. So let me go to the one sample t-test, and here the software is asking you what is the population mean. So population mean comes here, the 5. The population mean is coming in the test value 5, and sample mean is calculated on the variable called weight loss. So sample mean is calculated from this variable, and the population mean is given to be 5, and I am going to apply the test. Now let's see the results, and we will try to understand the results of the software. In this case, we assume that the population mean, which is represented by mu, is 5 kg. So we assume that the population mean is 5 kg, and second, the sample mean is found to be 4.02. Sample mean is equal to 4.02 kg. So can we say the population mean and sample mean are equal? Right. So we are having the null hypothesis that the population mean and sample mean are equal. So for testing this hypothesis, we have to compare the t value and p value. So t value is found to be minus 6.212, and probability value is found to be 0.000. So here the t value is greater than 1.96 and probability value is less than 0.05. So which means null hypothesis should be rejected. It means company is making wrong statement. It means company is making the wrong statement. So this is our conclusion, and the actual weight loss is significantly less than what is claimed by the company. In this way, we can apply one sample t-test in SPSS. So I'm taking one more example so that it will be very clear in your mind. And let me delete it. And okay, so going to open another file to repeat or to take one more example. File, open the data. So let me open this data now. Okay, now in this case, Suppose I am taking this mileage example. So this is the mileage of the bikes, and here the null hypothesis is that the average mileage of car is 85. Okay, so don't in t-test one more precaution that you have to take, because the t-test, the formula is x bar minus mu upon sigma upon root n minus 1. So this, in this difference, the sign is ignored. So don't see the sign. This sign we have to ignore, right? So if I say the t value is minus 6 point something 10, so you have to ignore this sign, right? So ignoring the sign, you just compare this value versus 1.96. So in all the t-test and ANOVA test, you have to ignore the sign, right? Because the focus is on the difference, not the sign. I hope it is clear, and don't focus on the sign. In this example, the null hypothesis is that the average mileage of the bike is 85 kilometer per liter. So I want to check whether this hypothesis is true or not. So let me show you the procedure. I am going to the analyze, compare mean, and I am going to select the independent sample t-test, sorry, one sample t-test, and here the population mean is 85, and I am taking the variable of the sample in test variable. So in this window, the scale variable should come here. This variable should be the scale variable. This scale variable should come in the test variable, and population mean comes in the place of test value. So population mean should come here. Now I click OK. So let me conclude the results. So I will show you how to conclude the result in one sample t-test. So here the population mean, that is represented by mu, is claimed to be 85 kilometers per liter. Now what is the sample mean? Sample mean is found to be 84.22 kilometer per liter. So my null hypothesis is that the x bar is equal to mu. So for examining this hypothesis, I have to compare the t value and p value with 1.96 and 0.5. Here the t value is found to be minus 0.406, which is less than 1.96. Ignore the sign. Don't consider the sign. And p value is 0.686, which is greater than 0.05. So null hypothesis cannot be rejected. So here null hypothesis cannot be rejected. It means company claim is true. So in this way, we can use one sample t-test in the SPSS. So I hope